Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. It's the Mike O'Mara Show. And now, the best of O'Mara. Here's Rob.
Hey, thank you, Dude Walker. Dude Walker, good guy. Hey, it's your old buddy Rob, and we're doing the best of the Mike O'Mara Show. Something new for this session of Best Of. I'm hosting this week, and so we're going to listen together, and you're going to love it because I picked these segments all by my lonesome, and they're all most excellent. We're going to have some voices that you haven't heard in a long time, so stick around. Also, of course, Best Of News, Best Of Audio Vault, which is what we called it back then. And we're going to start with a little lesson in jokes. Now, we talk about it. Mike likes to tell an occasional joke. I love to tell an occasional joke. But Oscar is not a joke guy. And we get on the subject of off-color jokes. So sit down, buckle up, and leave the driving to us. This is the best of the Mike O'Mara Show.
I thought it was a good joke.
It's a great joke.
It's an old man's joke.
You know what it is?
Joke.
I would qualify that as a golf course joke.
Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah. it is a golf.
Yeah.
So now the joke that I told last year, that I told you guys about the 3 women on the beach.
Yes, I remember.
And you're about to be when the tide comes in.
Yeah.
That's the punchline.
Yeah.
Yes.
This guy tells a joke to me yesterday. I said, I got another good one for you. And this one, you know, you're old and the guy's looking at you in the eye and you're the one that told him the joke originally.
Oh, no, really?
But it's commonplace. It's completely accepted, especially from guys that tell jokes all the time.
Like what it is, it's part of an oral history. It's how jokes live on. They're not always written down.
Speaking of oral history, that was the last joke I was doing.
Yes.
It's true. It's so
That
true.
was
I always, I guess, because my parents aren't funny, and
You don't laugh at jokes.
they don't make jokes that much. So it's not. My dad tries to make a joke. He doesn't tell.
You've
a joke
got a
very
great
well.
sense of humor, but you don't laugh at jokes.
No,
you don't like
no.
jokes.
Well, I don't like
Shtick.
I don't. How do I would put it? Without insulting Mike, how do I say this? I don't like jokes that aren't appropriate in the workplace. That's the best place. I guess that's
enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. That'll
Well,
be
because
fun.
Mike, I don't like, how do I say this? I don't like podcasting or electricity or computers.
Well, you know, his other show is, you call it the No Shtick Zone.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
A No Shtick
Yeah.
Zone. And so what it is a
My worlds are colliding.
inside
My worlds are
lines
colliding,
that everybody knows in a very small
Yes.
group zone.
Oscar, do you know what a Venn
That's what that
diagram
is?
Do you know what a
sometimes.
Venn diagram
I love
is?
the Big O
Yeah,
and Duke
yeah.
show. I love the big.
There's a
I'm not
lot of
gonna-
inside.
Yeah.
A lot of inside.
Well, there's too much inside.
Yeah.
In my
well,
opinion,
we've actually
because,
talked about it on the show. Where like if you don't know that, like we have gone as far as talking about and starting a tab, and never was finished. Headshots were taken. It's a story of our lives of the characters, so you could refer to characters.
Oh, like a chart.
because we talk about other people so much.
But I will give
That's
you
your
guys
shtick,
credit.
which is
I
the
enjoy
beauty of the
that.
program.
I will give you
when
guys
I
credit.
know the people,
Yeah.
I get caught up in it.
When
I like
you
that.
feel that you are part of an inside joke, and that's what comes with years of listening,
Yes.
the joke becomes rarer and funnier.
That's how I got into the Junkies.
Yeah.
Because I remember listening to the Junkies for the very first time. Look, you're talking to a guy who grew up listening to alt rock radio and not talk radio.
Right, because you're cool, right?
No, because I didn't know any better, and my parents didn't throw anything on except for WTOP, and then let us
Right.
use the radio once in a while.
WTOP, you're home for alt rock.
Yeah, no, it was news and weather, and we thought our dad was boring. And
Here comes Screwdriver. I'm Neil Augenstein.
and then all of a sudden, I'm driving in the car to WVU, and we're listening to the Junkies when they're on at night.
Right.
And I was like, who the F are these guys?
Right.
And it was Cakes talking about working at Toys R Us and still doing the night show. And I was like, this guy's the manager of Toys R Us, and then he goes and does a radio show? How the hell is that working out? Mm-hmm. And kept us company all the way to what felt like Breezewood. And I was like, I like talk radio. This is crazy. Nuts.
Well, I mean, one of the reasons we listen to comedy all the way down to Florida is because it makes the time go
Yeah.
by.
Yes.
And one of the reasons people stack this show for 8-hour drives is because it keeps them company.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do. But as you were talking, I was reflecting on down here in Cocoonville,
Right.
and Midwestern Cocoonville, where the joke they love
Indiana South, Mike.
that I've been told like 11 times now that is so inappropriate that I can't share it with you here. And they just love it because it's got all the elements.
Can you
like.
even give the punchline without it
I
being
can give
inappropriate?
the two elements. It involves the Kardashians,
Right.
and a golf ball.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
So-
certain
so,
that this
yeah.
joke has existed in other iterations for many years.
Oh, of course it has.
it's
Of course it has.
yeah.
It's been upgraded.
But they
and
love
it's,
the zeal that it's like is one of the issues that I have.
So,
down
but
here.
golf course, or golf jokes in general, are, I think, for eternal history have been, I've been told,
Off color?
Yeah, off color.
That's a great
Racist.
word for it.
Right?
So let me give you. I'll give you a non-racist golf joke, but it's
Or-
misogynistic.
or-
but it's misogynistic
so-
because it's always at someone's expense.
Off
It always
color is, I guess, the best way to say that it never really was something you could talk about or say at work with no random.
Well, I would say not even just work. I would say off color indicates that the joke, for some reason, does not play in all
It's not
environments.
just so it's not just racial.
Right. It could be
So
anything.
there's a golfer.
Right.
So there's a golfer, and he has his regular Saturday foursome. And this guy is an all business. He doesn't pay attention to anybody else. He doesn't engage anybody else in conversation, and he doesn't because he likes to play fast. He likes to get his rounds
Right.
over fast. And and so he's playing golf with his buddies, and he's an old guy. He's been at it a long time, and he rarely says anything. And they finally get to the 17th green, and the 17th green is a hole that is right next to the main drag, the main route that goes through town. And they're sitting there, and the guy, is just playing his usual fast round, and suddenly a funeral procession goes by, and they're on the left, and the guy stops, like right in the middle of his putt. He stops and he takes off his hat. And he waits till the last car, the hearse of the funeral procession, goes by first. But he waits till the last car goes by. This is like 11 minutes, a large, huge procession. And one of his playing partners is just stunned by this. And he said, let me ask you a question. Why would you possibly stop in the middle of playing one of the fastest players? You never pay attention to anything and take your hat off and watch that funeral procession go by. And he says, well, I should. I was married to her for 18 years. Bada bing, bada boom.
See?
Look, he
Big
liked
win.
that one.
Big win.
He liked that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
You did. You know what? You told it great, though. It's a good
We're
one.
telling
It was
jokes
great. It was
on
great.
Friday.
It was great. It was
on
great.
on the Mike O'Mara show. But
there are
yes.
okay. So, but I don't think you said anything inappropriate. You know
Rob,
what?
you knew the punchline like when I started, right?
yeah,
Did
yeah,
you
of
know
course,
it was
yeah.
coming?
I had not heard that joke.
Yeah.
There are times that
That's great, though.
I will tell. I would say some older folks in my life in a very kind and willing way, including I would say neighbors of mine or people in my life that say certain things or maybe that would be adjectives at times. Use certain adjectives or verbs, and I'll say, hey,
Nouns are usually the trouble.
I say, I don't think that word. Actually, I know that word isn't used anymore to describe that, and they're like, you're probably right. And then there's this awkward silence of, am I mad at them or not? But I'd rather help than hurt. That's all I know.
That Kardashian joke,
Yes.
I'm one more effer away from telling it to me. And if that I'm just going to be like, okay, enough. Please.
I'm
enough.
curious.
And I don't even like the Kardashians.
I'm curious, and I said it earlier, Oscar. Do you know what a Venn diagram is?
I do.
Okay, so I would say that the Venn diagram, the overlap.
Please explain to me what a Venn
A
diagram
Venn diagram is a
Food pyramid.
No, it's not. It is a graph of circles. And like for our show, the representation would be a Mike circle, a Rob circle.
Like a mobile.
And it's not. An Oscar circle. And what overlaps, say, this, you put
Was
the
it
circles
created
together.
by Porter Venn, TMOS listener Porter Venn?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Ooh, deep cut.
Like where my circle overlaps with your circle, it would be stuff that we share in common. And like where the circles trisect would be stuff that we all share.
Yes.
Say our love of family would be something that our Venn diagram is shared
right in
for
the
all
middle.
of us.
3 pies.
Yeah.
But you can tell a joke, I tell jokes, but in Oscar's diagram, I'm curious, you deal with people, you do business things, you talk to clients, you go out, you glad hand, you do things.
Yes.
Do you have any jokes in your arsenal if you're called upon?
I am not the joke.
I understand, but
guy.
just as a guy would be
I
prepared.
would say on the show as well. on all the shows I work on.
No, but do you have like a simple, I won't say golf course joke, but just like a simple storytelling joke
I
that you have in your arsenal?
a horrific joke.
Is it one that would play here?
I would say what Mike did before the show was it was baby powder compared to the napalm that I threw down and had a bad experience with when someone had to say, "Hey, I didn't think that was funny. That was actually racist."
You didn't know you were
that
right.
I didn't know I was being like, I just didn't know. But it stopped in my tracks.
Right.
They're like, and I might have been, I would say, 20 years old. Stopped in my tracks and said, "That's not funny. That's completely not inappropriate." But
you should have one clean joke in your arsenal, just in case.
I think of all the jokes written, men with no arms and no legs probably have been the recipient of more jokes than they need to be.
And I can think of one of the shortest ones, and the punchline is, "Hello, my name is Matt."
Okay.
Or
I can break balls with the best of them,
on a wall.
but I don't have.
Well, but here's what you bring.
Yeah.
And Rob and I don't sit here and tell jokes. We all tell stories, but your contribution is you bring when something really horrible happens. No, not the foreign effect at all. I don't think of you as the foreign effect. You're not. You're not really Bolivian in my eyes.
Not even human in my eyes.
I mean, you're not like, it's like you come from
an
Bolivia,
android.
But that's about it. You are, and you'll be happy to hear this, Oscar. I consider you fully assimilated.
Oh, thank you,
There
Mike.
you go.
Yes.
But you
American me.
You bring these soul-bearing tragic stories, tragic tales. That's your thing.
Hell of a storyteller. Absolutely.
Rob is captain shtick, where in the middle of the show he'll have the one-liners and he'll write brilliant stuff. Yeah. And then I just tell, stories basically. That's kind of what I do.
We all
and then
go
I
in
do
different, and I think that's one of the reasons why the show works so well.
The show is fantastic. We're just talking about our interpersonal dynamics.
Right.
So yesterday there is what I think was a fantastic inside joke that's had here on the show that I can't talk about on air at all.
Damn it! We're frustrating our listeners because there's so much we can't.
But I can say on the air. I can tell you later. I stewed on this joke, or this inside joke that that Rob and someone else was having.
Can you give me, since I'm out of the loop on this, can you give me the principles you're talking about?
I can't. It would be scorched earth if I said that.
Yeah, he really can't even reveal my co-conspirator.
I can't. But you and I.
People would be super pissed.
Look at my eyes. When I tell you, I'll tell you after the show, and I found out the inside joke, and I didn't reprimand, but I said, "Hey, not the place for this."
I believe the phrase was, "Rob, don't be a mean girl."
Yes, and then
I said, "Oscar, you're right."
And then I said, what he doesn't know is I stewed on this I would say this morning, last night, today. Where I was like,
it upset you that much?
It upset me that much.
Or you were worried about it that much?
I'm not worried about it. It concerned me enough to know that I need to talk to Rob again after the show. Because what he is creating is a negative dynamic.
Right.
No.
Yes.
Right.
No, it's a celebration of people.
Rob and I have worked together for an amazing. What was that? I heard something.
That was a successful man in a Maserati driving by the studio.
Wow, that was a.
No, I believe that was a Kia Stinger.
Rob and I have worked together a long time.
Yes.
Rob and I have worked together for a very, very long time. So I know where, and Rob knows where my bones are buried. I know where his bones are buried. Would it be safe to say that in a previous life you had a bond with a coworker that was solely, as far as comedy concerned, was almost exclusively based on one type of humor?
Yeah, I would say that's true.
Right.
And I would say that also both I and that other co-conspirator were very good at it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think,
and to be clear, this was
not healthy. It's not a good thing.
To be clear, Rob's infraction.
It annoyed me.
Well, I wouldn't say infraction. I would say misstep. Was not racial, was not cruel.
I didn't say racial.
Yes,
no.
Yeah. But for me, it felt like if you are a true friend and a true businessman, you should discuss this with your friend again so they know that they're clear about what you feel like is appropriate and not appropriate.
Exactly. Crystal clarity is what we require.
Wow. It sounds like we're very close to the inner circle here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the Venn
That's
diagram.
that's amazing. Right.
Do you
May
know?
I tell you a golf joke, Mike?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead,
so
tell
a
me
guy
golf
is
joke.
Teeing up to hit, and the starter, the starter sometimes has a microphone and a PA to make sure
or a
everything-
gun. They goes. Psh.
Well, they seldom have a gun because it's very noisy.
That's a starter for a race.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
And the starter says,
not golf.
"Will the gentleman on the first tee please play from the men's portion of the tee? What is it? The
Men's
the
tee, men's tee.
The men's. Will you
Yeah,
please
yeah,
play
yeah,
from the men's
yeah,
tee?
yeah.
Why was he at the ladies'
He was at
tee?
the ladies' tee, and
All
so
right.
and so he's continuing to address the ball, and the starter says, "Excuse me, will the gentleman at the first hole play from the men's tee?" And the guy just totally disregards him, not even paying attention. And the starter says, "Hey, you in the blue shirt and the white pants, would you please play from the men's tee?" And he turns and he yells, he says, "Would you please let me take my second shot?"
Bada bing, bada boom. See, the first shot, Oscar, didn't go past the ladies' tee.
Yeah.
And there,
Yeah,
do you both know the rule, the joke? It's a joke rule.
What is that?
If you don't hit it as far as the golf's a weird game. If you don't hit it that far as the ladies' tee, do you know what you're supposed to do?
What?
I don't know.
Play the rest of the hole with your wiener hanging out.
Really?
Yeah. It doesn't happen. It's just it's
That rule
known.
was invented by Arnold Palmer. But you say golf is a funny game. I think that's why there are so many golf jokes. Is that
Right.
The game has such
That would affect your swing, though.
Not mine.
not much.
I heard a massive laugh. Oh my God.
Rarer than hen's teeth. They are.
Wow. Oh my.
The best of the Mike O'Mara Show with your charming host, Rob Spiewak. This next segment actually has sort of a backstory. We've always enjoyed classic, old, like 1940s or 50s pieces of advice that they would give to brides to make sure their husbands were happy. They were comically out of date until Oscar found a relationship expert on TikTok. And it turns out some of these outmoded thoughts never really went away. So let's do the TikTok thing right here on the best of the Mike O'Mara Show.
TikTok.
Internet.
Bitcoin.
There are a lot of internet celebrities that claim to be professionals, experts, and they will take to now TikTok and give you some advice. And a lot of it's dating. So I'll get some of that in my feed. Somehow the algorithm doesn't realize I'm happily married. So I'll get a lot of that dating advice within the feed.
Wonder
Right?
why that algorithm happens.
Sheer data. So
Questions I get asked.
and it is roughly 1 a.m, and I'm like, what is this lady talking about? Stops me in my tracks. I save the video, and I'm like, I got to send this to the fellas for the show this weekend. So I send it to you in the morning. Before I send it to you, know that I played this video in bed with my wife, and out of the corner of her ear, she says, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, a relationship expert.
I'm sure she's an
On
expert.
TikTok, she says, "Who is this whore?"
So she was put off. So it's safe to say Shannon was put off by this video.
Now, that's the reaction I was looking for
Okay, good.
because I knew this would invoke some sort of response from my wife, because she'll play people talking about chakras and energies and
Crystals.
rising sun Capricorns. Who knows? And I don't say a word. I just let her live her life.
Sure.
The first time I put this on, I invoke a reaction.
Yeah, a horrible word. A horrible word.
And we're a different world. We're all trying to get
Yeah.
to evolve, even though, and I have to say this before we play this video,
Yes.
that I feel as though when I make my little comments, when I will always say, when it comes down to the practice of living life, I believe that I am one of the most, open-minded individuals in the world. And
Now-
I would live my life that way.
Mike, you're a loving person. I know that, or else we wouldn't be talking about it here on the air.
Thank you.
Or we'd be trying to hide it, right?
Right.
So,
But you guys know me in my real life,
Yes.
and we
Yeah, I
don't.
get it.
We just don't roll like that.
You're right.
and
Anymore.
this clip here
Yes.
is
Yeah.
it was so calculated in what the person was trying to do. And then for me, it was calculated what I was trying to do with my wife. It's basically just like needle her because I thought this was hilarious.
Yes.
Because
you go.
I said,
the purpose of comedy, you're playing this woman.
Yeah.
Do you think I asked Shannon, I said, do you think I'm a high quality man? And she says, yeah, I do. I said, that's interesting because I've just found a TikToker talking about what high quality men are looking for
And what they need.
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay.
I think we play the tape and we'll discuss afterwards. And
Today, I'm going to talk about what high-quality men look for in marriage potential and what turns them off. First is respect and peace. A lot of men work really hard or they have long business hours and they want to come home to peace in their home. I've heard so many men say, I loved my wife, I was just tired of getting yelled at all the time, and that inevitably led to their divorce. He doesn't want constant complaining, nagging. Women can kind of have a tendency to nitpick at things. They want to feel like you respect them, and they also want to feel peace when they're around you. Allow him to lead. Trust in his capabilities to do so. Have an open heart and have vulnerability with him. These are character traits of the girl archetype. She trusts her man. She's got an open heart. She's loving. She's vulnerable with him. She brings him that feminine, loving energy that he needs.
That's just a portion of it. Thoughts?
It really does sound like, and there was a thing that was bouncing around almost pre-internet. It was faxed a lot to DJs, and it was the 1950s guide to a wife.
1943, Edward Podolsky from How to Be a Good Wife
Mike,
by
you
Edward
are
Podolsky.
way ahead of me, so please take it.
Don't bother your husband with petty troubles and complaints when he comes home from work. Be a good listener. Let him tell you his troubles.
Yes.
Yours will seem trivial in comparison. Remember, your most important job is to build up and maintain his ego, which gets bruised plenty in business. Morale is a woman's business. Let him relax before dinner. Discuss family problems after the inner man has been satisfied. Or heaven forbid you ask your husband for anything. That's because it's otherwise known as nagging.
Right.
From Sex Satisfaction and Happy Marriage by Reverend Alfred Henry Tyrer in 1951.
So it really hasn't advanced that much.
Okay.
I verily believe that the happiness of homes is destroyed more frequently by the habit of nagging than by any other one. All right, are you playing
Yes.
more of her right now?
Now, this
All
is
right, here we
her.
go.
This is, in fairness to her, this is her response when someone wrote, I agree with what you said about high quality men. Can you make one for what women look for from high quality men? Which is fair. We haven't heard
This
that
is
side
interesting.
before,
I want to
right?
see what
me
the,
too.
I
We
wanna
haven't
see
heard
what
that
this
side before.
1950s lady has to say.
Fall in love with the things men say. This is why men who are smooth talkers always get pretty far with women. I'm not saying to be disingenuous. To be expressive with your woman is very rare and very appreciated. My partner writes me lengthy love letters still to this day. He praises me, he compliments me, he makes me feel special, he makes me feel like the most beautiful woman in the world. And I would appreciate this more than just getting like a Cartier watch. The more he makes me feel desired by him, the more I'm able to open up my heart and fully love him and be fully vulnerable with him. Women shut down the moment they start feeling insecure. If you're on social media following a lot of these Instagram models, liking their posts and commenting on them, the girl you're with is going to start to feel insecure and she's going to start doubting herself and doubting you as well. This is a very common complaint I hear from women.
Are you listening,
to you, it might
HBS?
seem harmless, but to a woman you're with, it will seem like you're disrespecting her. You can't be all talk and no action. Follow through on your words. Be consistent. Consistency is key for earning her
Stop.
trust.
Why are
Be
you
confident without
nodding
being
your head
arrogant
so
and boastful.
passionately?
Loyalty and dependability. For a woman to open up to you and love you, she has to respect you. Spend quality time with her every day that is uninterrupted. No cell phones, no entertainment. Be fully present and available to her. Be emotionally available and emotionally mature. Listen to her when she's upset. Sometimes a woman doesn't want you to find solutions why she's upset, because I know men like to find solutions. Sometimes she just wants you to listen to her. One reason why I really love my partner is because when I'm with him, he's fully present with me. He doesn't look around the room. He's not distracted. He's not looking at his phone. He's fully with me.
I love my
Surprise her
partner.
with flowers.
Oh, excuse me. Something happened.
I agree with her.
Well,
These are all valid. She said, you have to do your clapping push-ups. You have to do them. You have to pay your taxes. You have to, pay attention. You have to be respectful. These are all
You
things.
have to get a watch from Cartier.
No, she said she would rather.
She doesn't want to watch
from Cartier. This is why you can take a piece of maybe just 1 or 2 nuggets of advice from there would bring
I
you
got
a
2
long
nuggets
way.
for you.
Oscar seems to be like crazily nodding his head here.
Yeah, and you.
I agree.
What I love is that Oscar's nodding his head. You're nervously looking to see if Carla can hear it. And
No, I was not.
You
That's
twice
not
looked-
true.
You twice looked to your right. You did.
No, because my son came into the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
why
he's
I've got a
distracted.
new layout here.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
so
understood.
I am sideways now, where my back was to everybody
We've
before,
got-
and now it's just we've rearranged
Take
the
some
room.
getting used
We've
to
got
down
both
here. Yeah.
sides in play.
I don't mean to insult, but I was thinking about HBS, your dad,
Right.
Who I think probably, I think your Kathy, his wife, is probably a wonderfully suffering soul. That that he not only posts the pictures that he does, but that he says yay to every piece of ass on the internet.
I don't think she suffers. I don't think she
Let me
suffers.
ask-
You don't?
No.
What qualifies you to say I don't think she suffers?
Because I've spent
She
time with
seems
them.
happy.
They're very happy together.
Yeah,
they love
thumbs-
each other very
They
much.
might be, but I mean, it's still the what she. I was just listening to what she was saying.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Do you feel? Okay,
Can I
I'm gonna-
just
okay,
answer
yeah,
before
yes,
you go?
yes, yes.
I just have to say this. When you heard about emotional availability and emotional sensitivity, I know for a fact that is something I need to always be aware of. That to manage my emotional maturity and to be present when it's necessary.
I agree with that.
And
also a thing she said that did make sense is that it's not always about finding a solution. And I think that there is a strong trend in me, certainly in a lot of guys, when there's a problem, you just want to fix it. And sometimes that's not what they want.
Well, and they want probably
Support, an ear.
an ear.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's, I think we could all do better with that. Men everywhere.
agreed.
Probably, right?
What about
To a
the
degree.
women?
As far as the women, I think that
The advice
as
she gave.
ridiculous and as 1950s-ish as it sounds, that in a circumstance where, for example, say you're in a circumstance where the woman comes home from work first, or she is in the house all day, and the guy comes home from slaying the dragon, and he walks in, and he happens to have had himself a day. I don't think it is completely beyond the pale that comment about peace or having the sensitivity to be aware that he might need to decompress is complete. But I think also that there are no universals.
No.
Is, I think that's the key. You're dealing with somebody who may have had a horrible day at home or a horrible day at their job.
Yeah, women have horrible days too. They
You
really
have
do,
to be communicative. There is the thing about all these 50s and 40s articles written by men, I should say, women are not allowed to have feelings.
Right.
Really, when you read that, and that's not cool,
and you can find this this young lady on TikTok. For those of you out there that want to troll your families at Thanksgiving, feel free to just play this in the background, in the corner of the room.
If you have,
Throw
if
it to
you
your
have,
smart TV.
If you have some women who will be, you will light the bottle rocket if you play this video.
Yeah.
If you want to have fun, go ahead and credit it, because that would be fun. It's like, and if you're doing it and you want to do the shtick, and I'm sorry I'm ruining Thanksgiving dinners here, but if you
Or
want
are
to
you
put this,
fixing
like,
them?
I saw a TikTok video, and for a young woman, she makes an amazing amount of sense.
This
Can
new
you play the first
generation-
part of it again? Can you play the first part?
Easily.
And you play this at Thanksgiving dinner. And if you have a, the type of, dinner companions that I'm going to have, you'd have yourself a nice little Donnybrook on your
Don't
hands,
you think
and
it
it might
would
be
play
fun.
perfect between dinner and pie?
Again,
I think it would be fantastic at the end of the regular meal. Absolutely.
The title is what high-quality men are looking for.
Today I'm going to talk about what high-quality men look for in marriage potential and what turns them off. First is respect and peace. A lot of men work really hard or they have long business hours and they want to come home to peace in their home. I've heard so many men say, I loved my wife, I was just tired of getting yelled at all the time, and that inevitably led to their divorce. He doesn't want
Just stop it right there, and that's all you need. And that's all. And then just sit there, and then what the look should be around the table, and it's really even better if a guy plays this.
Yes,
look around the table and go, I think she makes a lot of sense. And you get
Yeah. And then follow it
Wild
up
animal.
with a little more coffee.
right, coffee for everyone.
Is there any coffee?
You know, because they're telling us what? They're telling us to keep politics out of the Thanksgiving
Yes.
table
Right.
this time.
Yes.
So I think everybody can agree on that that's not what people want. I think really, collectively, Americans are going to want to chill on that.
Yeah.
Because I think we all know how divided we truly are in this country. But that, you can sneak that one. I didn't think this was political.
No.
I thought this was just a little sociology, that I'd throw
And
your
if you
way,
want to get
know?
political, you don't think Jill Biden is a good wife? She's a great one. She listens to his problems, doesn't bring anything
Oh
up.
my God! Oh,
But it shows
just
both
one last
sides.
thing
Shows
here
both
for this is not for Thanksgiving dinner, but this is from the Reverend Tyrer in 1951.
Sunnier days.
And he says, and I think this can apply every day after the Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
A social service meeting, an afternoon tea, a matinee, a whatnot is no excuse.
A whatnot?
A whatnot.
It's a whatnot.
Is no excuse for there being no dinner ready when a husband comes home from a hard day's work. Housekeeping accomplishments and cooking ability are, of course, positive essentials in any true home, and every wife should take a reasonable pride in her skill. Happiness does not flourish in an atmosphere of dyspepsia.
Oh, I hate
There you go.
dyspepsia.
Yeah, that's interesting. Bad cooking is responsible for dyspepsia.
Yeah.
Dyspepsia is responsible for grouchiness and irritability. Grouchiness and irritability lead to quarrels and squabbles. And bad cooking, which is the usual thing in the average American home, has been responsible as much as any other factor for driving the husband to the saloon.
Oh my!
And
I
to
hate
other
when
places.
you go to the saloon because your wife dried out or whatnot.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
The Mike O'Mara Show, best of edition, and I think you're going to like this. Maddie Masiello. This is when Maddie got herself a cat. Check it out on the best of the Mike O'Mara Show. So, Maddie, I know that you had your Christmas gift you got from John Mack was a song,
Exactly. Yeah.
and you, for his gift, gave him something of a promissory note.
Yes.
Something that was yet to come.
Yes.
So, what happened to you over the long weekend?
So while Pony was getting a new car, I got a gently used cat.
Yay! I don't have music for a new cat. I'm sorry.
Next time.
So tell us about your cat and the process. What? Because
Why
cats are
used and
basically
not new?
Well, we wanted to adopt one, so we went to a PetSmart that does an alliance with the Rescue Association.
And by the way, I've always wondered this: is it Pets Mart, like Kmart, or is it Pet Smart, like it's smart for your pets,
It's Pet Smart.
which is Pets Mart? Pet Smart.
No, it's PET and then Smart.
So it's like Smart Pets.
PetSmart, yeah.
Shop at Pet Smart.
yeah.
All right, I'll buy that.
Glad we cleared that up.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I get in the way of your fascinating story?
No, I'm just saying.
Was it? I've seen these adoption days for dogs. I didn't know they had it for cats as well.
Yeah, I think the one we went to only had it for cats.
Okay.
So it was a lot of fun. We had a bunch of different options.
Did you go in with a preconceived desire for a cat, like long hair, short hair, color?
Not really. We just wanted something that was very affectionate and more of like a lap cat than anything else.
I see.
But other than that, we didn't really have a preference. And so by the time we got to the third place, we had seen a bunch of cats from the Humane Society.
You mean third, like actual
Location?
location?
Third location, yeah. So we saw a bunch of cats earlier in the day, and none of them really seemed to fit great. So we went to this PetSmart in Rockville, and we got there, and immediately we let this one out, and he just sat in our laps for like 20 minutes.
He was
purring.
alive?
Totally, yes.
Okay.
But totally undisturbed. Just really like purring so loudly, really enjoying himself. And then we played with him, and it just seemed like a really good fit. So we brought him home on Sunday.
Oh, that's sweet.
Does he have a name?
Yes, his full name is Tiramisu, but we call him Terry.
Okay.
And this is a name that he came with, or one that you selected?
No, he came with the name Hunter, which I didn't like, and I was kind of set
A
on.
docile cat like that named Hunter?
Yeah, I didn't.
I'm not
It didn't
so sure.
seem to fit.
Nice,
But
Terry.
I knew I wanted to name him after some sort of food. I did think if we got an orange cat, I would name him after a cheese. But he is black and white, so that didn't make sense.
Short hair, long hair?
Long hair.
Okay.
What type of cat?
I think he's a tabby.
Tabby cat?
I think so.
How old?
A year and a half.
Oh, not bad.
That's good.
Past
Yeah.
the kitten
Past
stage.
kitten, but he's like young enough.
no,
He's still
kitten.
playful. Kitten.
Kitten. What's the backstory?
I don't know much.
Broken home.
I'm
He
not.
was Brad and Angelia's cat.
I know for the past few weeks he was from North Carolina when they rescued him, and so the past.
Does he
few
meow
weeks-
with an accent?
No, he meows a lot though. But seems very well adjusted, and he was microchipped. So I think somebody cared about him. So I'm not really sure. I
he
don't know if
can't-
he was abused or what.
You
but
can do 23andMe on him, figure
Yeah, I
out
might.
like what his lineage. They have that for dogs, by the way. They try to sell that to you at the
23
I've done it.
meow.
yeah.
And we wrote a letter back. We wrote a letter back saying we think they're wrong. So he obviously does not have German Shepherd in him.
Do you? So you're 3 days into owning a cat.
Yes.
Has anyone? And you'll get all kinds of advice. Has anybody told you about the City Kitty? Toilet bowl cover.
No,
Yeah.
I have not heard.
You sure it's pronounced city?
City. Yes.
Okay, just checking.
So this toilet bowl cover is a system that helps you train your cat to go in the toilet and not in its litter box.
I've seen cats that do this. As a matter of fact, my grandparents had friends that trained their cats to
Yeah.
do this many years ago.
If you can execute this, and cats are smarter than everybody thinks,
Yep.
it'll save you a lot of time and angst between you and your beau on who's going to clean out the litter box.
Interesting. He did say the other day. He looked at me. He was like, "I have a feeling I'm going to be the one to do this every time." So he
Well,
seems okay with that.
I'm
he
glad you
seems-
know.
He's accepted it.
glad he knows his place.
Yep.
Exactly.
You
Did
pay
he,
the,
did he Venmo you for? He said, "Hey,
No, this was my gift. Remember?
yeah, but what about the accessories? You need a scoop.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we did
is
get
it-
all of that.
Oh, because he's not using his hands, is he?
Ew.
Hold
No.
on a second. That's a great question. Did you buy all the cat accessories or did he have to go 50-50?
He had to go 50-50.
I see.
Oh boy.
You know what
I
this
was
is like?
dreading that
This is
question.
like the 10-year-old that buys his dad a basketball for Christmas. He knows where it's going to end up. So let's run down the list of accessories. Was there a collar?
We got him a harness thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can possibly walk him if you want.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't think that's going to happen. Did you get him a tag that has tiramisu written on it?
No, not yet.
Okay. Litter box?
Yes.
Litter?
Yes.
Scoop?
Yes.
Did you get any sort of
Toys?
deodorizing powder for the litter box?
Well, the one we got, it's pellets, which I think are deodorizers.
yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's very environmentally friendly.
Well,
you-
what can I say?
What is the time that a Venmo is received after a transaction is made on your card? Like, at what time do you send that Venmo request to your boyfriend for 50% of what he owes?
I think at the end of the day, once we were getting everything settled, and I think he reminded me, actually, because the agreement was I would get the cat, but we would
Oh, there's
split
an
all the-
agreement.
An agreement is an agreement.
Sure. It's a handshake deal.
So at that point, you could have been, when he asks, this poor guy, when he asks, he's like, hey, make sure you send me that Venmo.
Yeah.
Hey,
Everybody does that.
Yeah.
Maddie?
What about you? You being like, don't worry about that. I got this, honey.
Yeah.
It was a lot of stuff.
The scoop's on me.
I'll get the scoop.
Now, what about toys? Oscar brought up toys.
Yeah, we got a lot of toys.
What'd you get?
A stick that comes with 3 different attachments at the end that
Mm-hmm.
you play with.
And now that's for the cat or for John?
For both.
Okay.
They both got a kick out of it. And then these little, they're like jingle balls things.
Okay.
That you just like roll around with like feathers and everything on them.
Now, may I offer a point? I offer a tip. This is one you may want to have to pay for on your own because it's going to be a little more expensive than a jingle ball, a laser pointer.
Yes, I suggested that too.
Gotta get one. Gotta
when
get
we
one.
were adopting him, though, the lady there had a laser pointer out, and he didn't seem too interested. But I think we should try again and get one anyway.
Okay.
How's does he sleep in your bed? How's the first night? Like,
Well, he has been sleeping in our bed, and up until like 5 a.m. rolls
What do
around.
you mean our bed? You mean you two? You're not married.
What?
they live together.
Well, if
but
I
I
had
mean-
said my bed, you'd been like, "Oh, this poor guy."
I wouldn't say that. I'd say it's okay to be old-fashioned.
He paid for half of that.
I've got a daughter, you know.
Okay, so what happened 5 a.m.?
He wakes up and he has been sleeping at the foot of the bed.
And to be clear, this is the cat.
Yes.
He walks up on our heads and just is meowing, putting his paws on our face, not like scratching or anything, but he's nuzzling up against us for the past 2 nights at 5 a.m. and he won't let us go to sleep. He just wants attention, so I am exhausted.
Oh my God!
But
this is true. You just don't have responsibilities, but you're now caring for another living
I know.
thing.
Yeah, you're doing the mammal thing.
I know.
Wow.
So do you think you'll be able to schedule shift this, or are you going to be a 5 a.m. lady now?
I am not sure. I would because we'd let him play with us for like an hour or something, and then I think at like 6 a.m. this morning, I took him out and just closed the bedroom door.
Yeah, but then the meowing starts?
No, he wasn't meowing and he wasn't scratching at the door, which I heard could happen as well. So I think that might be the solution. But I also just want to make sure he's comfortable enough for like this first week or so.
Sure.
So I do want him to sleep in the bed for at least a few more nights.
Well, take my suggestion. Just get him a deck of cards.
He can play solitaire.
Exactly.
noted.
Those little claws can pick up cards. Just flip them.
Yeah, do the thing where he makes the rainbow of cards. Beautiful. Wonderful. All right. So I have some
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you,
job.
Thank you.
That's the first step to having a family.
Terry.
Oh, no.
Rob Spiewak here with the best of the Mike O'Mara Show, and I wouldn't be doing my DJ duty if I turned you loose today without getting you up to date. So here is a fine news report that will make sure you know what's going on. Of course, the news is 2 or 3 years old, but still, you need to know it. Let it serve as a refresher course. Good? Is anyone buying this? Doubtful. Check it out on the best of the Mike O'Mara Show.
News.
Boo. Pretty prepare, c'est depuis,
Are those the lyrics to the news stager?
I'm multilingual, translating into the Russian. Italian. Anyway, I'm sorry. A few days after David Cassidy's death last week, his daughter, Katie Cassidy, who is beautiful. I saw a picture.
Gotta be.
She shared his final words, and they're a little depressing. She tweeted, quote, "My father's last words were, so much wasted time." God, is there anything sadder than that?
Wow.
This will be a daily reminder for me to share my gratitude with those I love as to never waste another minute. Katie plays Laurel Lance on the CW show Arrow. I'm not familiar with that show. Anyone? Anybody in the class?
Yeah,
No?
it's pretty good. I mean, it's made for kids, really.
She's a handsome lady.
Third generation showbiz. She got to be beautiful.
It's unclear exactly what David was referring to. It could have been his early death, but it's been he'd been open about his struggles with alcohol and substance abuse in his later years, and those troubles had caused rifts in his family. You know, I'm thinking of when I've indulged too much, and those are, you know, when you really think about alcohol in particular, when you have those roaring nights where you recover for the next 1 or 2 days, those are definitely wasted days.
Of
where
course.
you're useless. You're not good to anybody. So they're really
yeah.
kind of. Is there anything really better than waking up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on a Saturday morning at like crack of dawn on a holiday weekend and you're feeling good? It's terrific.
especially during pie season.
It's September to September, if you're keeping score at home. Josh Hutcherson has a secret he's been holding inside for about 15 years. This is the kid that was in the Polar Express with Tom Hanks.
Oh, the little boy voice, yeah.
But he's not a little boy anymore. Well, he once let one rip and farted on Tom Hanks. And he finally fessed up on the Late Late Show with James Corden.
That's
It was
awesome.
during the making of the 2004 Holiday Classic, and Josh was only 9 at the time, so, you know, we cut him a little slack on that. They were filming a scene where the kid played by Josh was skiing along the top of the train with a hobo played by Tom. Now, the Polar Express was a motion capture movie, so they actually had to be in the same positions as their characters.
Right.
At one point, they're both standing on the same pair of skis with Josh in front, and that's when he let one rip. Josh said, quote, That was my first big movie. I was working with Robert Zemeckis and Tom Hanks, and I just farted in his face. Instead of playing it cool, Tom Hanks was like, whoa, oh my God, this kid, what the heck? Oh my God. You can see Tom Hanks doing that, right?
Yeah.
So, next time you're watching the Polar Express and they're on the skis with the hobo, just know that's what
I've
happened.
never seen that movie. I'll have to look at it.
I like it.
Kids like
It's
it?
kind of cool. It's kind of neat.
I liked it more than the kids, actually.
Oh, wow.
Neat
I
looking
think
film.
I'd like to go back and see it. I saw it when it first came out. I'd like to go back and see it again.
It's a great book.
Trump,
If you ever have a kid, get the book. The book is awesome.
Cool.
President Trump took to Twitter on Friday to announce that Time Magazine was going to make him their Person of the Year for the second year in a row. But he wasn't interested because they were non-committal. This is squarely falling into the category you just want to scream and go, "You're the president!"
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just in case he doesn't get it.
I don't get it. How are you? Who knows? He tweeted, quote, "They said I was probably going to be named Person of the Year like last year, but I have to agree to an interview and a major photo shoot. I said probably is no good and took a pass. Thanks anyway." Time refuted Trump's claim, tweeting, quote, "The president is incorrect about how we choose Person of the Year. Time does not comment on our choice until publication, which is December 6th. He's obsessed with the cover of Time magazine, but he's the president. You don't need to be petty like that anymore.
Remember, in some of his resorts, he has a cover of Time magazine.
The fake
yeah,
Time
it's fake.
magazine.
Like you get an amusement park, yeah.
Oh, my God. It's frustrating. Here are the 6 Thanksgiving foods and how long you can keep them in the fridge before they might make you sick. Important. Turkey, 3 to 4 days. Only 3 to 4 days. So even if you have it in a vacuum sealed, whatever, if it's cut up and stored in a shallow container, it might last a little longer, but turkey is risky. So be aware of that.
wow.
I think you can tell because turkey stinks after a couple
I
of
thought
Yes.
turkey lasted for a good month.
Well, you can freeze it.
No. Well, you can freeze anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Number 2 is homemade gravy. Only a day or 2.
Dang.
So it's definitely time to throw
They
it
haven't
out.
been in a Latin household.
Stuffing
What
also.
does that mean?
Iron stomachs.
Oh, okay. I
You
see.
keep the gravy.
We'll just
for
keep rolling as long as it's around.
Yeah.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Oscar. Here's your gravy.
The whole notion of leftover gravy in my family is like science fiction. It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist anyway. Stuffing 3 to 4 days. That surprises me. I would think that would last longer. Mashed potatoes 3 to 5 days. Rob doesn't want any more anyway. Too many potatoes this week.
We had a few no-shows, and I bet we were left with about 10.5 to 11 pounds of mashed potatoes.
Oh, my God.
And that's a
What
lot.
do you do? Did anybody make potato pancakes the next day? Or anything
We
like that?
flirted with that. We had a lot of meals that involved potatoes the next few days.
Well, it's 3 to 5 days. That's all. And the same goes for green bean casserole. Pumpkin pie, 3 to 4 days. These are all
Pie
shorter
season.
time. Yeah, pie season. Apple pie lasts a little longer. You can leave it out for 2 days, then put it in the fridge for another 2 days. Cranberry sauce is the big winner. It's the one Thanksgiving food that does keep for a while. The sugar acts as a preservative, so you can leave it in the fridge for up to 2 weeks and still eat it. That is.
Oh boy! Do you have any 2 week? You have any 2-week-old cranberry sauce?
Yummy.
I'm starving.
Delish. A guy named King Kaying Major in Macomb, Mississippi, just posted an item for sale on Facebook. I don't know if you get a chance to see this. It is a slightly used coffin.
Oh,
That's right.
then.
He said it was buried for 3 years, but they, quote, just pulled it back up because we decided to go a different route.
oh no!
I guess that means they took the person out of it and cremated them.
Sure.
Maybe. I hope that's what it means. Anyway, he's asking $200 for the coffin.
That's a deal.
As far as we know, he hasn't had any offers yet. Hey, it is the time of year for bargains. So if you
Local pickup only.
That's right.
yeah, local pickup. Where are you going to meet him when you have that?
Do you have
big
something
thing
to stop
going?
this coffin?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a little something. I love this story. A self-taught rocket engineer who claims he believes the Earth is flat.
Sure.
Plans to launch himself nearly 2,000 feet in the air on a homemade steam rocket this Saturday. Get some video.
Did you say a steam rocket?
A steam rocket.
Just
That's
wanted
what
to be
the story
clear.
says.
Yeah, okay.
Mad Mike Hughes is a 61-year-old 50-year-old limo driver. He told the Associated Press that he'll be lifting off over the California ghost town of Amboy. Why do I think that's somewhere in Northern California?
Probably.
I don't know. He'll be traveling about 500 miles per hour. He'll be traveling about a mile, and he will reach an altitude of 1,800 feet. And then he will exit the steam rocket via parachute. And would you like to hear the quotes from this guy?
I'd love it.
I don't believe in science, said Hughes. I know about aerodynamics and fluid dynamics and how things move through the air, about the certain size of rocket nozzles and thrust and whatnot. But that's not science. That's just a formula. There's no difference between science and science fiction. Yeah. He then continued to eat his delicious chocolate pie, which coincidentally was 1 mile wide. He'll be landing on that. There you go. I don't believe in science. Earth is flat. I don't care what they say. I'm an American. Steam. We'll take a break. Steam rocket. Steam rocket. Jimmy Kimmel is taking off this week, and rather than have Jimmy Kimmel live on air with a bunch of repeats, he's having a celebrity guest host take his seat each night. Shaq hosted last night. He talked to Mila Kunis and Aisha Tyler. The musical guests were Ty Dolla, and I don't need the list. Sorry. Tonight it's Dave Grohl.
Hey, a little love for Ty Dolla, please.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Channing Tatum hosts tomorrow night. Thursday, Jennifer Lawrence. Jimmy was planning to take the week off so his son Billy could have a second heart surgery. I wish him the very best with that. But the family ended up battling cold, so they postponed it. They're still taking the week off. Obviously, Jimmy will be back next week, and we wish them.
I like that idea.
I do too.
Right? It's I think that's what Carson used to do. You have celebrity
Absolutely.
hosts.
Yeah. Carson was known for it, to get to like Joan Rivers and Don Rickles and all those people in there. A survey asked people about different Halloween costumes and what they think each one says about the person who's wearing it. Here are 6 costumes and what people think they say about you.
All right.
A superhero. 42% think it means you're athletic.
Really?
Oh.
A pop culture inspired costume, like Oscar wore.
Yeah.
44% of people say you're probably a really good time. 23% of people said a scary costume, like a zombie or a mummy, is also a sign that you're a partier. Number 3, I'm waiting to see where their drag is included in this. Number 3, a historical
This is only for
figure.
Dressing up for Halloween, though, Mike.
For Halloween. A historical figure. 24% people say it means you're a bookworm. 4, if you made your costume yourself, 20% of people think it means you're the therapist type who listens to their friends' problems. Number 5, if you're wearing a political costume, 61% of people say it's a sign that you're a big sports fan. Really? I don't understand this. And number 6, if you're dressing as a cop, firefighter, doctor, or nurse, 19% of people think you're probably the serious one in your group of friends. That makes no sense to me. I think
I've
you're
seen
just
some
trying
cops
to find a
with
costume.
material that didn't look like it would fill a uniform for a little kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sexy
Not
cop.
appropriate.
Yeah.
The
I watched
sexy
the
costume.
Saturday Night Live after the horrible David S. Pumpkins special. They did a 1-hour retrospective of some old Halloween sketches, and it still makes me laugh to see Barack Obama wearing a Barack Obama mask. When he took it off, that was worth the entire hour right there. I thought that was great.
A new survey asked more than 9,000 people to name their biggest fears, and fear of clowns didn't even make the top 10. Here's what did. Number 10, galeophobia. You know what that is?
No.
Fear of sharks.
Really? Galea?
Phobia.
Yeah, this is easy for Rob, probably. Entomophobia.
Entomophobia is fear of donuts, isn't it? Entenmann's Donuts?
Fear of insects.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Entomologist, yeah.
Trianophobia.
Fear of the number 13?
No, fear of needles.
Needles, I see.
Ophidiophobia.
Ophidia. Is that spiders?
Fear of snakes.
Snakes, okay.
Glossophobia.
Fear of 8x10 photographs.
No. Fear of public speaking.
Oh, okay.
I have that.
Necrophobia.
Fear of dying.
Oh, yeah.
Thalassophobia.
Flaccid penis. Fear of that.
My penis. Fear of what's in my pants.
Fear of deep water. Claustrophobia, fear of small spaces.
Small spaces.
Acrophobia, that's
Fear of
easy.
heights.
Fear of heights. and arachnophobia. Come on.
Spiders.
Spiders. There you are.
Fear of John Goodman movies.
Yes. Now, a little something, ladies and gentlemen. A guy in... Oh, let me do that.
Yeah, you didn't do your thing.
A guy in Marlborough, Vermont woke up around 3:30 a.m. Sunday and heard some noises in his spare bedroom. When he went to check on it, he found it was straight out of a nightmare. A random clown had broken into his house and was asleep in the bed.
Oh, no.
The guy called 911, and the cops came and arrested the clown, who turned out to be 43-year-old Sean Barber. Sean Barber! He also happened to have cocaine on him, so he was arrested for unlawful trespassing and coke possession. The crime will henceforth be known as getting spee-whacked. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We will take a break.
The hardest thing for that clown was getting the cocaine up the red nose.
All right, here we go. Traditional day before Thanksgiving story about the most expensive Thanksgiving dinner. Here it is. The Old Homestead Steakhouse in New York City.
City!
Serving the world's most expensive Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow night. $181,000.
Hey.
Would you like to know what you get for the price?
Please.
2 gold-painted, gold-dusted, and gold-flaked free-range turkeys. A $1,200 a pound Spanish bacon slab on top of candied sweet potatoes. $300 a pound white cheddar cheese from the UK. Gravy infused with a $3,650 bottle of Louis XIII cognac.
Whoa.
Cranberry sauce featuring $250 per dozen Japanese strawberries. A seafood stuffing made with lobster and $1,600 per ounce caviar. Asparagus seasoned with $91 per ounce Korean salt. Potatoes made with $850 a pound European cheese, $150 an ounce French butter, and $1,000 per ounce truffles. Lots of expensive wines and champagnes, and a $50,000 7-day yacht cruise afterwards, plus a $20,000 Black Friday shopping spree, and 4 tickets to the Super Bowl.
That's terrific.
I really
And you know
hope
what's
someone
great?
Jokes at that dinner.
What's great is when you get on that yacht, you can your brains out.
That'll be completely free.
That's no charge.
And now a little something. There's a 27-year-old guy named Jason Savage from Middlesex County, New Jersey, and he worked at an HR company called TriNet. And earlier this year, he found a hidden camera on a urinal in the bathroom. Now, his boss is a guy named David Swerdloff, and he heard Jason talking about it. So this is what Swerdloff did. He runs into the bathroom, grabs the device, and he heads straight to his car so he could take the camera to the cops.
Right.
That's what he said.
That's what you do.
A few minutes later, David Swerdloff calls his employees to tell them he, quote, accidentally smashed the camera and, quote, he was in a state of panic when he threw it off an overpass.
What?
Oh, no.
What's going on? Swerdloff was fired after an HR investigation of the urinal cam. And since then, Jason, the guy that discovered it, says that TriNet has been trying to dig up dirt on him to punish him, too. Interesting. So he just sued TriNet. He wants a jury to decide on the damages, but after all that's gone on, TriNet will be changing the company name to Penis. That's it. That's what I was looking forward to all day. I can't help myself. That's it. Yeah.
Worth the ride in.
The password is penis.
TriNet is now Penis.
Penis.
The human resources company for a new generation.
Look for them on the New York Stock Exchange. PNS.
PNS.
Hey there, are you still listening to this? Well, allow me to extend my most sincere appreciation. It is the best of the Mike O'Mara Show, and I am here listening with you, hosting the festivities. It's me, Rob Spiewak, and before we move on to the traditional closing to any episode of TMOS, the Audio Vault, or the Flip Side, or the Digital Dumpster, call it what you will, I need to remind you of something very important. www.TMOSstore.com. That's right. TMOSstore.com. That is your exclusive source for official Mike O'Mara Show merchandise. And you got to get it. I tell you what, the shirts are great. The hoodies are great. Oh, the mugs are great. And you are going to love our limited edition stickers. So please check it out. And you know what? I'm not going to betray any secrets here, but the holidays are coming. And if you have a TMOS fan in your life, you need to buy some of this stuff for them. And if you're a TMOS fan, and I have to assume you are, otherwise why are you listening to the best of, get yourself something. All the stuff is marvelous, and it is all happening at TMOSstore.com. Check it out. Now, let's move on and hit up this audio vault on the best of the Mike O'Mara Show.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Men's socks and underwear, essentially the same for 50 years.
Yes.
I'm here to tell you that I have been a sock guy at Mack Weldon, and I am now a boxer brief guy due to my frequent walking that I've been doing recently.
Nice. Very nice.
And I love Mack Weldon, and they've come up with another amazing innovation. Last year they gave you commando underwear. This year it even got more groundbreaking. Presenting, ladies and gentlemen, give me that timpani.
Do it.
Presenting the all-new Mack Weldon downloadable socks.
Wow.
Imagine a brand new pair of socks every day, no washing. Just left-click on the sock icon and you're all set. Available in color or black and white, depending on your printer. That's funny, Rob. It's a custom fit every time because you print the socks. Whether your Windows or Mac, these socks rock. Just make sure you print in landscape mode. Watch out for paper cuts, and remember, if they get wet, they're ruined. Best of all, they're free. Available April 1st only. Print more, save more. Remember that name. MAC. Did you give me a fake spot?
Mack Weldon sent you an April Fool's Day spot.
MackWeldon.com, and I read the whole damn thing and only got it at the end. Caution, extremely flammable. I'm a pro. Thank you, boys.
So great.
That's what you were talking about at the beginning, and you got all quiet, you bastards. I'm throwing that. And then Rob and I had the big, long discussion about printing that up. No, don't print that new one up.
Gotta be the new one. It's only good today.
Thank you, and S&D, Mack Weldon. That's what I have to say to you, S&D. That's
Print your
fantastic.
socks.
I love that. Printable socks.
Oh,
Fantastic.
God. When Bill called me with that yesterday, I said, that's fantastic.
I love
Mike,
that.
you know what? You
What's
forgot.
that?
Shame on you.
What?
You forgot what today is.
April means Stephen Sondheim.
Welcome to the
that's
theater.
right.
To the
It's
magic. To the fun.
It's Sondheim on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Mike, today we go back to 1962 and a show that was not doing well in previews until they wrote this opening number and it became a Broadway classic, Zero Mostel.
Oh, let's listen.
Forum.
Something familiar, something peculiar,
Hi, Oscar.
something for everyone, a comedy tonight. Something appealing, something appalling, something for everyone, a comedy tonight. Nothing with King.
Zero.
All right, thank you very much.
Hey, you
That's
know what I
April
didn't know
with
about
Sondheim.
it? What I didn't
Yes.
know about it is that the book, the dialogue in A Funny Thing Happened Away of the Forum, co-written by Larry Gelbart, who would go on to create MASH.
Yeah, a lot of brilliant writers with that.
Really a good
associated
show.
with that show. And yes,
Do you know when Rob's really into something?
Yes.
Really, really into his tell?
Yes,
Is when he
absolutely.
has Dude Walker do the voice
I know,
for something.
I know. And he asked
Nothing
Dude to do
else.
another.
Nothing
How
else.
much did you pay Dude for that?
Oh, you know what? We have a standing deal, and you know that. But you know what? What I was shocked you didn't mention is that in the middle of the dude element was the great Lauren Bacall. Listen.
April means Stephen Sondheim.
Welcome to the theater. To the magic. To the fun.
It's Sondheim on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Oh,
Will we get another?
Yeah.
Will we get another tomorrow?
Every day.
Every day he's going to do it every day.
Every day.
I love it.
Oh my God.
It's actually fun.
So there is a segment, and I mean a small segment, but there is a segment of our audience. I think Rob's going to get rave reviews.
Highbrow.
on,
I really hope
April
that,
with
and I
Sondheim.
hope that I bring you a factoid every day. That is my hope. As your,
Oh, God, go
Factoid.
for
as
it,
your
boy.
sommelier of
Go
Sondheim.
for it, boy.
Mike, do you know that it has been 27 years since you pulled? A lot of people mentioned on Facebook this week Tats for Tots, the April Fool's book that we did where we pretended to give the kid a tattoo.
It was a lot
But
of fun.
it's been 27 years since you did my favorite April Fool's joke. I just want to play a moment of this because I do love it.
Listen, folks, I thought we ought to explain what's going down here. It's April Fool's Day. The fact is that Don and Mike are on thin ice. Alan Goodman called and said, listen, they've alienated everybody. They have made enemies of everybody. They are idiots. They are immature. We need a grown, mature adult, someone that can bring the proper approach to Power 105, and that's why I'm here. And with that, I say good morning on wonderful WAVA.
This grown, mature adult is here on Power 105 to do what he was put on earth to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I was born to be wild.
The late, great George Michael.
So great.
Popped in for Don and myself on April Fool's.
I love
and
George
did our
Michael.
morning show, and it was so special, and George was so into it because George was a DJ back at WABC and other great stations. So to have him come in and do that, and he was just
a lot of fun.
One in a million. One of those old back when local news fostered strong, vibrant, incredible personalities, and it wasn't the terrorized land of safe that it is now with the male models. It really was a different era.
Magical moments between him and Jim Vance. And I remember high school.
We had great ones. We had George Michael and Glenn Brenner.
Oh, my God.
On two different stations back in the day in Washington, D.C., and they're both unfortunately gone, and I think that sucks. That really, really does. We had great sportscasters, and they were fun to watch. George was more, straight ahead, but had a real big personality. And Glenn Brenner, you would watch Glenn Brenner not for sports, you'd watch Glenn Brenner for Glenn Brenner. And I wish we had that in local TV news. It's gone. It's gone because everybody is over consulted, and it's the land of
vanilla.
I don't think we'll never get it back.
And here's the thing, okay? And then I just wanted to, we should have talked about this totally, and then Comedy Central decides to rush to replace Jon Stewart, and they step on their D's by bringing the pretty young boy in, who is an ass. And I don't know how they're going to punch their way out of this one, but
not every joke can be funny.
But I mean, how about what happened to paying your dues? What happened to really coming up through the ranks? No time for that. Really.
The only thing that I foster a little bit of hope is that if Jon Stewart stands behind this guy, and apparently he does,
Jon Stewart's
there
being
must be
company
something.
guy.
Hopefully,
and he owns part of the show.
Yeah, he does.
He needs it to succeed.
Yeah,
and those checks come in every week.
All right,
I don't understand the hire, because I mean, all I've seen of this guy is the one time I watched the episode live when this guy came on, and I'm like, meh. Yeah. Okay. Where's the funny?
We won't find out until he comes on.
I'm sick and tired of people giving the president a hard time about the way he talks.
Okay.
Oh, there's that anonymous op-ed piece that published in the New York Times. He talked about it yesterday, and he refers to the fact that it's anonymous.
The latest act of resistance is the op-ed published in the failing New York Times by an anonymous, gutless coward.
Now, a lot of people think he's...
Well, play that again, please.
All right. He's really not mispronouncing anonymous.
No, stop for the whole thing. Remember when he did the United
States? Yeah, God bless the United States. Here he is with anonymous.
The latest act of resistance is the op-ed published in the failing New York Times by an anonymous...
For sake of comparison, Mike.
God bless the United States.
But I don't think there's a problem here, because what he's doing, he's not trying to say anonymous. He's actually saying that he's a big fan of The Muppet Show. You see, here's what happened.
Anonymous.
See, there's nothing wrong with him. He's fine.
These are interesting times. I'll never forget this.
I heard Chuck Todd this morning on WTOP, our local news station here in the D.C. area.
I'd love to get Chuck back on this show. That would be so much fun.
He said, and I'm sure you covered this on Political Persuasions, that you, for the first time in history, have, regardless on whose camp you're in, have the people on the inside essentially laying down what could be possibly a soft coup from the inside out. and you have the people on the outside saying, "What is happening?"
Yeah, it's
And
creepy.
There's a great article in Esquire. I didn't put this on my page because we're just inundated with it. I mean, I'm really, this is me talking as someone who likes to occasionally get political on my Facebook page. There is a great article, actually an editorial in Esquire about this guy that wrote the op-ed, and it's kind of saying "F you." Just step off. What did you think you were getting? And come out and what he believes is that the person that wrote this op-ed is just trying to do, it's a full CYA so that they can come out after the fact.
Oh, they said, I told everybody.
Yeah, because this administration is ultimately the perception within inside.
Sure.
I'm sure a lot of them is going to go off the rails, that this person is kind of covering their own
his ass.
There's a lot of speculation.
Oh, I never thought about that.
That's
like,
well,
I need to save myself now by writing this.
No one's come out and said brave about this op-ed.
Oh, no.
Nobody said that.
This is the equivalent of writing yourself a letter and mailing it to yourself so you can open it later and prove something.
And make no mistake, we talk about it on Political Persuasions. There are 3 or 4 people within the organization at the New York Times that know who this is. So this person had to be, they let the people at the Times know. You just can't write this and send it to the Times.
No, he was
without
vetted.
knowing who it is. He was completely vetted. It's a strange world, man.
All right.
Very, very strange.
Welcome back to the NFL. Big game last night, Philadelphia and Atlanta. One of the thumbs up, the national anthem. Did you hear it? Boys to Men.
Didn't watch the game.
Listen to just a taste of this harmony. This is great.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
And I like the fact that they're still Boys to Men, even though they're all about 70 now. But the harmony is still there. I loved it.
Great.
Now, question while we have Boys to Men in the background. Let's say you're a football team with a great fan base and you reach the pinnacle. You're Super Bowl champions, football champions of the world. How long does that keep you in good graces with your fan base?
I imagine at least a year.
No, the answer is 2 quarters of football because Philly actually booed the Eagles going into halftime last night.
Halftime score is 6-3. You watch. Well, yeah, the Boo Birds are out. Love is a fleeting thing.
I was so conflicted last night when one of my favorite things is with one of my least favorite things. But Paul McCartney was on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon talking about his new album, Egypt Station, out yesterday. Great album. Now, what happened is Jimmy Fallon showed him one of his records from when Jimmy Fallon was growing up, and he had written a fan letter to Paul McCartney, but used the album as like a desk.
Oh, wow.
So you could see the imprint of the letter in the album.
Wow. And
when they showed it, you could see Jimmy Fallon's boyhood phone number. And so they called Jimmy Fallon's boyhood phone number, and this is how it went down. Paul McCartney, 70-something years old now, still a great sense of humor.
The Text Now subscriber you were trying to reach is not available. Please leave your message after the tone.
Hi, this is Paul McCartney here. I'm looking for Jimmy Fallon. If you see him, tell him to give me a call, will you? Thank you.
That's it.
Can you imagine getting that voicemail? That would be so great.
Anyway.
Here's a comedy bit that works, Mike. Jimmy Kimmel last night. I love when they go out and do the man on the street stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a new game that they're playing on the street. People aren't seeming to get the rules. They're pretty easy.
Excuse me. Don't talk into this mic and win $10.
Yeah, sure. Why not? What do you want me to do?
Don't talk into this mic and win $10. Do you understand? You got the rules of the game?
Well, just from what you described.
So close. I'm sorry. Don't talk into this mic and win $10.
What?
Excuse me. Don't talk into this mic and win $10. Do you want to play?
No, I gotta go.
Sorry, you just lost. So close. Don't talk into this mic and win $10.
Sorry, what's all against the mic?
Oh, sorry, you just lost. If you don't talk into the mic, you win $10. Do you want to try again?
Okay, yeah.
Are you ready? You just lost again.
Nobody won. Seldom does something happen on morning TV so good that I feel I must call Mike in on the way to work. But I did today because Rand Paul and his curious haircut was on the Today Show, and they paired him with Savannah Guthrie. And I think that was a bad pairing, Mike. I think that sort of should have been a Matt Lauer interview. Your thoughts?
2 things on Rand Paul.
2 things.
I am interested in this man because when he gives a speech, he says things that interest me. I know he's a libertarian. I know he is extremely right-wing in some of his beliefs, but I am curious about him. And I'm not curious about anybody else that's out there. The second part of it is that hair. And I am sorry, I still think that hair needs to be addressed. If he is going to be a legitimate candidate for president, he's going to have to explain it and show what he does.
What if we
tell us if it's real or
pulled
not.
it back a little?
Maybe some relaxer.
Something.
He goes between when he made his announcement. I watched most of his speech from Kentucky when he made the opening speech in, I believe, Lexington. And he was doing the dry look, and I was okay with that. He came out on the Today Show today, and he had the wet look.
Do you think it was wet, or was he just sweaty?
No, he does the wet look quite
product,
a lot.
Yeah.
He does the wet look, and the wet look screams at me. I'm not just the president. I'm a client. That's what it. That's what
I
it
think
tells
you're
me.
with it. I think you're right. Anyway, he was on with Savannah Guthrie this morning, and this one particular exchange I thought was just a great example of broadcasting and one that should be taught in our colleges.
And you once offered to drastically cut. Once drastically wanted to cut defense spending, and now you want to increase it 16%. So I just wonder if you've mellowed out.
Why don't you let me explain instead of talking over me, okay? Before we go through a litany of things you say I've changed on, why don't you ask me a question? Have I changed my opinion on? That would be sort of a better way to approach an interview.
Okay.
No.
Is Iran still not a threat?
You've editorialized. No. Listen, you've editorialized. Let me answer a question. You ask
and that's when he won the election.
Look, I didn't like the way she did that. I didn't think she needed to go that route with him, but I thought he was hyper defensive.
Yeah,
and
very much so.
You can't go into a national television forum and have that attitude and expect presidential credibility. You can't.
Especially since it's your first interview. It is his first big interview.
It might work on Fox, but it's not going to work on a major network.
You can't screen through that. They teach you to bring your own agenda if you're on the outside looking in, right?
Right.
He tried to bring it too clumsily.
Yeah,
he did. And you just a great example of a guy that's probably been slammed by NBC, and he comes on the show and he's fine with it, is John McCain. John McCain
does a great job.
Reserved, collected, and he will battle with them, but he will only do it when they get done asking their questions.
And tactfully done. Tactfully done, too.
It looked like it made them both look lightweight.
Yesterday, 2 deaths. One, to me, exponentially sadder than the other. Stan Freberg was 88, and he passed away. He was a radio, voiceover, advertising, writing legend. Here's a little montage. You'll know his voices. He did a lot of Warner Brothers cartoon voices, but never got credit because Mel Blanc's contract said voices are by Mel Blanc. So even when other people did voices in the cartoons, you didn't see him. So you'll hear one of his commercials here, a couple of his cartoon voices, and also a great parody he did of Dragnet. Here's Stan Freberg.
One half of his lawn has been eaten by a sheep. The other half cut with a Jacobson Power Mower. How long did it take the sheep to eat that half of your lawn?
Well, he's still eating. I'd say he's been working on it now for about 6 weeks. He's neat, but he's not too fast.
And how long for the Jacobson mower to cut this half?
12 minutes.
Proof positive that the Jacobson mower is faster than sheep.
I am a good speller, I am. C-A-T, dog. B-A-T, Rhode Island.
I'm Mrs. Rabbit, the little feller's mother, and I've been so worried about him.
The 3 little pigs were really gassed. They'd never heard such a corny blast.
We played in the West. We've played in the East. We've heard the most, but you're the least.
This is the countryside. My name is St. George. I'm a knight. Saturday, July 10th, 8:05 p.m. I was working out of the castle on the night watch when a call came in from the chief. A dragon had been devouring maidens. Homicide. My job. Slay him.
If you want,
that's when he was really young when he did that.
Yeah,
right?
That's like early 50s. You want to have a blast? Surf some Stan Freberg on YouTube.
That's fun. That's good. Nice tribute to him.
And
Rob.
Just 3 more real quick clips. He was so great at skewering pop culture of the 50s. He once said, "My records aren't released; they escape," because Capitol would have a hard time releasing his stuff. Here he is versus who was very popular at the time, Lawrence Welk.
What is that noise there? Oh, it's the bubble machine. Turn off just a moment. Hold it just a moment, please. Turn off the bubble machine.
And also one of the greatest stabs at Elvis ever.
That would be so lovely. I could have a little more echo on my voice. Although it's always crowded, that's got it. You still can find.
And no one was doing that in 1956. Stan Freberg.
Cool. No one's doing that now.
Very cool. We appreciate it. Here's another one you might not care for. James Best, I believe, also 88, who was a noted acting teacher.
You gotta pause on that one.
No, I don't.
You can't. Oh my god! Oh my god! All right, go ahead.
I love you, Ron.
I know. He was a noted acting teacher, but he made his money playing Roscoe P. Coltrane on the Dukes of Hazzard. And anyway,
are we gonna play a lot of him now too?
No, I just want to play his laugh.
Okay, because I'm burned out.
That's how they close the show.
Oh, this was an icon. This guy.
Yeah, this was a guy.
No, he wasn't an icon.
Stan Freberg,
he was
not
a
so
character.
much, but...
Stan Freberg did a lot of work, obviously, but all right. I'm not going to slam dead people. That's not what I'm gonna do. I don't know how I got in that position.
Now, this is great. We have a P1, Chris Berringer, who has his kid listening to our podcast in his car seat.
I can't wait for this.
And this
saw
is
this.
so
Carla showed
cute.
me this yesterday.
This is so amazingly cute. Apparently, he likes when Dude introduces Mike, and he does it twice here. Every time Dude says "here's," he yells Mike. One more time, I want you to hear it.
That's Better Call Saul.
I hope Dude sees that.
I do too. I'll make sure he sees it. It's so cool.
Way to
and
go,
John Cryer, who seems to have great staying power based on the lack of talent, was on the Kelly Lee show yesterday with Michael Strahan.
He's got the new Odd Couple show, right?
No? He's not doing anything right now because 2.5 Men is gone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're thinking of Matthew Perry.
Two different guys.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a very funny moment brought up when he was working with Ashton Kutcher on 2.5 Men. Was brought up that in the day, John Cryer dated Demi Moore.
From my understanding, you had a fling with Demi Moore. But who have you been talking to? But I'm curious, how did that go over when you first started working with Ashton Kutcher on 2.5 Men?
It was a little bit awkward because she and I had dated when he was 7. So.
Want more? Make sure you check out The Mike O'Mara Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara Radio Entertainment.